WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Here's your host, Rick Semler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Stands. I got a smile on my face this week because it's a big week in the state of Indiana as the Indiana High School boys basketball regular season tips off this week. And always with the start of the season over the last several years, that means the Gobbler games will be taking place. No different this year. We'll be talking about the Gobbler games with my guest, Jeff Mahalik from Mossy Oak Properties. Jeff, good to see you, bud.
Thanks for having me in, Rick. Appreciate it.
Now, you said it takes a lot to get you out of the tree stand these days. Is that correct?
Yeah, this is my favorite time of the year. So, hunting season, deer rutting, and then high school basketball. So you can't beat it. So
that's what we're talking about today. He's one of the sponsors of the Gobbler games. We're going to get into all the details of the Gobbler games. So here's the detail. The 5th annual Gobbler games will be taking place this Saturday, November 29th at Greencastle High School. Now, that is a change from the other years. We've had it at Indiana State, Rose-Hulman, Terre Haute South. This year it is taking place at Greencastle High School. It's a beautiful facility out there, and it should be an exciting day of basketball. We'll go over all the games taking place here in a second. Jeff, how excited are you to have the game taking place out at Greencastle High School?
I love their gym. I mean, actually, when I played, we all wanted to go to Greencastle. We felt like we could jump higher on that floor. I don't know what it was, maybe because of a bigger arena, but it's a great facility. We're happy to be there.
Now, I mentioned it. You guys, Mossy Oak Properties, York Automotive, Ryan Luce State Farm, Trent Car Construction, and Pepsi, all sponsors of this event. Why do you want to be part of this event? Why do you want to be a sponsor of this event?
I love high school sports. I was an athlete. I think everybody that on our team was an athlete. And it's community-based. All of our businesses are community-based. And we spend time in those communities, and we want to support those communities. And there's nothing better to get behind than high school sports. You
mentioned you were a 1990 West Vigo grad, played basketball in the first sectional team there, so yes. Congratulations. How much do you wish this was around back in the day when you played and you could have taken part in this event?
Oh man, our team that was a first section. We had a really good team. I wish we would have had the Pizza Hut or Classic or what First Financial Classic now or the Gobbler games. I know Coach DeGroat would have had us there. His mentality was we'll play anybody, anywhere, anytime. So I still have that mentality.
And let me give you a quick rundown of the games. We'll go over these more later. At Greencastle High School, Saturday, November 29, 10 a.m., North Central versus South Vermilion. 11:30 a.m., Riverton Park versus Bloomfield. 1, Cloverdale, North Vermilion. 2:30 p.m., West Vigo versus Eastern Green. 4 p.m., Northview versus Greencastle. 5:30, Terre Haute South versus Decatur Central. 7 p.m., Park Heritage versus Terre Haute North. I know you sponsors meet before you release the schedule and do all this. When you guys talked, what was your goal? What did you want to get done with this event?
I think, like always, we just want to have a good product. We want to have good games. Last year, I think the first game out was it South, North Central? That was like a sectional game. To kick off the season with a game like that, that's what we want to have. And it's I guess it's the first game out. You're kind of knocking the rust off, but it's also a tournament, and it kind of gets your juices flowing early. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish. Just have good games, great atmosphere, and celebrate Hoosier basketball, I guess.
One thing I like about it, it's not just one game. Right. Several games, several schools. It's kind of just like that, like you said, the sectional atmosphere, but just a fun, long day of basketball.
We're there all day. I mean, it's yeah, it's a long day, but it's a great day. I love being part of it. We see lots of fans and friends, some old coaches. So yeah, that's what it's about. It's about celebrating high school basketball.
Now, one thing I know people ask, why Greencastle? One of the reasons I talked to Ryan Luce about this, he's a big factor in this. Mm-hmm. You have it at Greencastle. You guys have tried ISU and you tried Rose-Hulman. Financially and some other things, you can't do it there right now. But having it at Greencastle also gives more money back to the school. How important is this event that you guys not only host it, but the money goes back to the school for this event?
I think that's the most important part of what we're doing here is, teachers, coaches, all those people are underpaid. They're making and molding our young people. So all the money goes back to them. So having it at Greencastle, I think they're going to get probably twice as much as what they would got if we had another venue. So to me, that's super important. All these people spend so much time. I mean, basketball season is the longest season we have. and some of those coaches' stipends are not very much. So let's give it back to them.
I mean, I like that. You just heard him say there, and I know this for a fact. I got it confirmed. Each school will get about double what they did the previous years for the Gobbler games. And in today's world, financial hardship for some schools and this and that. I mean, just that extra money has to help them. That has to be exciting for you as a sponsor to be able to provide, that money avenue for the schools.
Yeah, uniforms, basketball, shoes, whatever the school needs to do with it, they need to do with it, but if we can be, some way of helping get them some money in the door, why not do it?
I want to thank our sponsors of Beyond the Stands, Crow Equipment Incorporated, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates, and Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, building a higher standard award winner for quality and reliability you can depend on. Call Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, 765-832-9401. Remember, you can always follow Beyond the Stands on Spotify, CastBox, Pocket Cast, and iHeartRadio. Okay, so let's break down these games. Got to ask you first, Jeff. I know with Oswego being the where you graduated, is that your favorite game of the day? Be honest.
I don't know if it's my favorite game. I got probably more heart in that game, but I'm actually looking forward to the North Park Heritage game. That's kind of the love fest game with those two guys. But we'll see how that goes. But that's a good test for both those teams. That's going to be a great game.
Okay, so let's preview the games. We'll get to that North Park Heritage game. We start with 10 a.m. game, North Central versus South Vermilion. These are two teams, and they'll be honest, they were just part of the Boys Basketball Media Day, which you also sponsored. Mm-hmm. They are both in rebuild mode. So earlier in the season, one team's going to get a win. That will help them big time, maybe gain some confidence moving forward. But that 10 a.m. game is North Central, South Vermilion. 11:30 game, you'll want to be there. Riverton Park, Brogan Sanders, their head coach, first year there, played at Riverton Park. He was a pretty good ball player, but they played Bloomfield. Bloomfield is going to be one of the top teams in 1A this year. I'll tell you now, cover Bloomfield a lot. They have one of the top players, not only in 1A, in the state, in Blake Neal. He was one of the leading scorers in the state one season ago at a little over 26 points a game. I know you've had a chance to see him, Jeff. The kid's a stud.
Yeah, shout out to Brogan. Actually, I coached Brogan in Little League. He's a great kid, great young man. He's going to do a great job there, but he's got his work cut out for him against Bloomfield. They are going to be tough. Yeah, and that kid is a stud. I love watching him play.
Does it make you feel old that kids are coaching now that you coached?
A little bit. Maybe I just inspired them as I look at it.
Your coaching was so good they wanted to go in coaching. Is that what it is?
I don't know about that, but I did enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, then our next game, 1 p.m., Cloverdale versus North Vermilion. This is always interesting. Joey Hart, Cloverdale, he's worth the price of admission anytime. His personality on the sidelines. He does have a 6'9" big man, Ishmael Kincaid. I think I said his last name right. He is going to be a stud in a couple years. He's already a really good player, hasn't completely grown into his body and doesn't realize his potential. They take on North Vermilion, and they got a kid named Tegan Leonard. As a freshman, he averaged over 20 points per game last year, and everybody knew he was the guy you had to stop, and they still couldn't stop him. He was that good. So you have two kids in that game that are worth seeing. And I know you've seen them a little bit. Jeff, how excited are you to see both those two in action?
Oh, gosh. I mean, the Ishmael kid, yes. He looked like he grew 3 inches when he came to the kickoff for the media day. And the Leonard kid he can flat out shoot it.
Yes.
So, I mean, yeah, they did everything to try to stop him. He scored. It'd be greater if they were both kind of, guarding each other, which may or may not happen. I doubt it. But
6 foot versus 6'9".
Yeah, but that's going to be exciting to see how those guys, come out and shoot the ball and play. So, yeah.
I think Cloverdale will be a much better team. It's the Joey Hart effect. Wherever he's been, he always turns things around, and this will be year 2. They're still not where he wants them to be, but they'll be better, I think. Then the 2:30 game, we talked about your Oswego Vikings taking on Eastern Green. That's an interesting game. Eastern Green didn't get a lot of wins, but they return their top 2 leading scorers. Kobe Sykes, he averaged like 16 a game, and a freshman, Kean Hudson. Keep an eye on this kid. He will probably end up being, by the time it's all said and done, or Kyan Hudson is his name, Eastern Green's all-time leading scorer. He played with my son several times. He is a great ball player. Then you got your Oswego ball club. Reed Doherty, I've always said you can't teach size. He's 6'9". Yeah. I was at their first practice. He threw it down, no problem. Joe Baylor, doesn't just hand out praise, just like that. And he says this kid has a chance to be one of the best players in the Wabash Valley. Have you seen much of Reed?
I haven't seen much of Reed, but I was surprised when he came in. I was like, wow, West Vigo's got some size. That was, when I was there, 6'4" was big,
Yes.
Was he 6'9"?
6'9".
6'9". So, yeah, go Vikings.
There you go. Go Vikings. The 4 p.m. game, one of the best teams in this event, Northview taking on Greencastle. Interesting matchup here. Greencastle, a pretty good ball club. They have one of the best athletes in this tournament, and Sam Gooch. He's like 5'10". You know how rosters are. I don't even know if he's 5'10". First of all, he's going to college to play baseball. Unbelievable baseball player, pitcher, throws in the 90s. Kid could jump out of the gym. Like he's probably the best dunker you'll see all day. So if you want to see a good dunk, the Greencastle Northview game is the one to go to. He'll probably dunk it. He's a 1,000-point scorer. And then you got Northview. They return almost their whole team that went to regionals last year and won over 20 games. They have very, very high expectations. And this team is not only one of the best teams in the Wabash Valley, but one of the better teams in the state. I know you've seen a lot of Northview, Jeff. They're going to be a fun team to watch this season.
This might be probably one of the highlight games, I think, of the thing, because it's Northview going to Greencastle in Greencastle Gym. So there's going to be packed house. And you're right, that Gooch kid can jump. Oh my gosh, maybe it's the floor there. I don't know, but man, he can get up. So yeah, it's going to be exciting to see that. That's going to be. I think it's going to be a good battle game here.
Gooch is one of those, some games we could put the camera down. We have to shoot the whole game because you just never know when he's going to dunk. You don't want to miss that highlight reel dunk, right?
I remember when he first came out, and I'm like, I was looking around for some big kid, and they're like, that's him. I'm like, that's him? And
yes.
He's impressive.
He is freakishly athletic.
Yep.
So 5:30 game, Terre Haute South versus Decatur Central. Both teams coming off losing records last season. Both 4A schools looking to turn things around. Decatur Central, they've been pretty good in the past. Terre Haute South has been good in the past. Braden Jefferson in year number 2. He's got a very young ball club, just 3 seniors. Going to be relying on juniors and sophomores. They have talent. The question is going to be, can they gel? And when you play young kids, you just never know how long it's just going to take for them to get used to varsity play, right, Jeff?
That's correct. They came out last year, first game. That was a heck of a game. That was one of
the better Gobbler games.
One of the better Gobbler games we've ever had. So I think both teams will be ready to go. Both be rebuilding. There's going to be some bumps in the road for them, but hey, the Gobbler game, let's knock the rust off. Let's get out and play, and someone's going to come out victorious.
Then one thing I like about the Gobbler game, I believe in all 5 years, they always try to pick what they feel will be the highlight game of the day. This one should draw a pretty big crowd, which will help more people in the stands, more money going to the schools. Mm-hmm. We have Park Heritage versus Terre Haute North. Both schools made it to semi-state last year. Both schools return a majority of their team. When you hear that game, Jeff, how excited does that get you?
That's the game I'm going to be watching. That's a big school, little school, both competitive. Man, that's what you hope for right there,
And we talked about the other games, players to watch. This game is loaded with players to watch. You got Trey Shelsky, you got Isaac Pickle, he's 6'8", Carter Crum, Joel Miller, who injured himself as a freshman last year. He's going to be a name to remember in the years to come. And then, of course, Terre Haute North, you got Brady Klopfenstein. He's committed to go D1 at Bellarmine. Gavin Wolfley, Cam Fennell. You got so many kids on that team. You got another Wren coming up, Tyler Wren. He's a junior already being recruited by D1 schools. Yes, that's another Matt Wren son. Just when they walk on that field, it might be like a small college basketball game.
The atmosphere is going to be sectional like. That's what we want. Big school versus small school from back in the day. Yeah, I want to watch that game.
And then one of the best things about that game are the head coaches. Maybe the 2 most personalities besides Joey Hart that we have going on in the event, and Trez Shelsky and Todd Wolfley, good friends. Both get animated on the sidelines during games. Both love to go at each other. Both love to pick on each other. They're just in themselves worth the price of admission to watch, aren't they?
I would like to be sitting up close so I can just hear their banter, No, both good guys. I coach with Rich. They're both great guys. They both do great jobs with the programs. They know their kids. They know what they're good at. That's going to be a good game. It's just, coaching-wise, player-wise, atmosphere. That's what it's all about.
You speak of the atmosphere. I know it's just the first week of the season, but all these teams want to get ready for postseason. Well, with Terre Haute North and Park Heritage, they are both teams that feel they can make another deep postseason run. I know it's just week one, but this kind of game, this kind of atmosphere can certainly go a long way in helping them later in the season. Don't you believe that?
I believe that. As a coach, I think sometimes you learn more from a loss. So, whoever wins this game, is going to feel really good about it. Whoever lost is probably going to learn some stuff about themselves, which may help them down the road. But they're not going to like to lose. I guarantee you that.
So that is our 7 p.m. game. Again, let's go down the rundown. 10 a.m. North Central versus South Vermilion. 11:30 Riverton Park Bloomfield. 1 p.m. Cloverdale North Vermilion. 2:30 West Vigo versus Easter Green. 4 p.m. Northview Greencastle. 5:30 Terre Haute South Decatur Central. And the big game at 7 p.m. Park Heritage versus Terre Haute North. Starts at 10 a.m. Will end roughly about 8:30. They do a good job of keeping the games on time. 7 games in one day. I mean, that's Hoosier hysteria, isn't it?
That is Hoosier hysteria. Yes, it is a long day. Come get your ticket. Go out, have some lunch, come back, watch a few games, or sit all day.
Which you'll be sitting all day,
I'll be
right?
sitting all day. Yes.
Okay, so the games will be taking place at Greencastle High School Saturday, November 29th. Again, starts at 10 a.m. The sponsors of it, York Automotive, Ryan Luce State Farm, Trent Car Construction, Mosley Oak Properties, and Pepsi. Again, you're one of the sponsors. Just before I let you go, just how excited are you for the 5th annual Gobbler Games to be a part of this?
I'm so happy to be part of it. I also want to thank all the other guys who are sponsors with us and do that.
I sent you in.
They sent me in. I don't know why. So short straw, baby. But no, they're great people. I can't thank them enough for including me to be in such a group of good people. We're super excited. We're going to keep doing this. We'll see where we go next year.
Yeah.
But maybe the Green Dome. I'd like to see it at the Green Dome.
There you go.
Yeah.
But you bring up a great point. You see next year. I mean, this is something that it's in year 5 that you guys want to keep going for the years to come, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the kind of kickoff. Let's kick off season with the Gobbler Games. I always tease. Someone said, "Why you did?" I said, "I did to get out of shopping." I don't shop, but it's a great time. It's right after the holidays. Families are together. Let's go watch some basketball. Let's start the season with a bang.
Well, Jeff, I appreciate you getting out of the tree stand and coming to visit. You can go back to the tree stand. Man, thank you again to all the sponsors for hosting the Gobbler Games. That's Saturday, November 29th. We're ready for the high school boys basketball season. It is upon us, and this certainly kicks it off. That does it for this edition of Beyond the Stands.
WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Catch this episode again and more of Rick's interviews online at mywabashvalley.com.